calculated. Then there are the other traders.
Mentions of Microsoft's ticker on a popular subreddit that's dedicated to markets.
It was discovered on Reddit. You can think of this similar to a sort of video game hack.
You put down a little bit of a deposit on margin, and then you get infinite leverage.
Getting people to take more risk than they want to. Here's what these kids are doing, and they're psychopaths.
Wallstreetbets, an online message board so pungent with autism, its members make the Rain Man look like James Bond. By turning stock options from a hedging strategy into a glorified bet thread, people on the subreddit have managed to convert the entire stock market into their very own personal casino. Add that to zero commission brokerage apps available to everyone with a mobile phone, lock everyone in their house for months on end, and you've got an ungodly amount of people on board. The process is simple.
Like 4chan found a Bloomberg terminal. By the way, I like that the way he talked about it is like, what did he say? If it's like,
love you, poo poo.
It's like, what did he say? Autism meets what? I don't know what he said, but like, okay, but so Wallstreetbets is then no different than fucking like regular trading desks, but those guys have to wear fucking suits and paid, you know, $200,000, upwards of $200,000 to get a fucking education to work 80 hours a week. And instead of being in their sweatpants from home, they're doing it.
I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
In a workplace instead, with a lot more cocaine as well. I had a fucking ableism. Okay, guys, I didn't make the joke. That person did, okay? I'm sorry for the ableism that you saw in this video. Do you want me to turn it off? No, don't say ableism isn't real. Ableism is real. Like, don't fucking shit on people who are offended if they are autistic and they don't want to fucking hear autism as a pejorative. This is a way better video if you want to learn about trading. No, I don't want to learn about fucking stock trading, dude. Okay, let's keep going.
Cool. You start your career by signing up to Robinhood, a zero commission online brokerage infamous for being absolutely terrible and breaking constantly. Oh, lost $20,000 because of a problem on our end? Here's $75 compensation. Despite its problems, it's still far better than Questrade. Robinhood's the bottom of the barrel of brokers, and as such, usually attracts likewise traders. But it just about works. Once you've signed up, it's usually best to read up on trading terms so you have a shred of an idea of what you're doing, but this stage is completely optional. Once you're on Robinhood, you're set. It's time to lose money. This usually starts by logging on to Wallstreetbets. The subreddit itself is home to a few things: bull posts, bear posts, gains, losses, but mainly, it's a bunch of shit posts and memes. Useful stock tips and actual thorough due diligence can occasionally be found, however. Once located, and after skim reading a few lines of it and glancing at some charts you've pretended to understand, it's time to go all in. The YOLO, the subreddit's signature move. Essentially, an investment of all of the cash in your account. Once the cash is on hand, it's time to suit up. The weapon of choice almost always being options on SPY, a fund that tracks the overall US market. What are stock options? Basically, an option to buy or sell a stock at a specified price. When you're buying a call option, you're basically paying a premium up front to bet that the value of a stock will rise to a certain price by a certain date. The further the price goes beyond your selected strike price, the more your call's worth. But if it doesn't hit your strike price by the expiry date, you're not paying this month's rent. Puts are the same thing, but they're generally for when you think stocks are going to fall. If an option hits your strike price or more, you can exercise them to buy or sell the shares, or sell the options on at any time before the expiry. Now, the nature of options allow for a huge potential and upside, banking numerous people up to 10 times their investment, but also losing others all of it. There have been a few tragic losses, but even for those that lose everything on Wallstreetbets, there's almost always another portion of grandma's pension up for grabs to head straight back in.
Please turn back. You do not want to go down this rabbit hole? You think I'm gonna fucking get a Robinhood account You think I'm gonna actually get a fucking Robinhood account and start stock trading, day trading on my own by going to a fucking subreddit? Hello? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? It's literally everything I fucking despise. I have multi-millionaire friends that I fucking grew up with in college that like do this for a living professionally. Why don't I just give them the money and have them do it if I were to be interested in that shit? Not some fucking random fucking subreddit and try to do it on my own when I can't even fucking get my payouts from YouTube on my own. Are you out of your mind, dude? Fucking coward? Yes, I'm absolutely a coward. Guess what? I'd rather be a fucking smart coward than a moron who loses all his money because he thought this was like an easy way to fucking make some money, like you found a cheat code or some shit.
It's 2012, and after being exiled from r/investing for constantly pumping risky trading ideas, Reddit user u/jartech decides to make a subreddit of his own, and on January 31st, Wallstreetbets goes live. It's not long before the subreddit adopts a 4chan-like etiquette of calling each other retards and autists, and casual mentions of cuckoldry are everywhere. It's also not long before people on the subreddit start playing around with options and penny stocks. The trades start out pretty tame, but this doesn't last for long. It's also worth mentioning that everyone on the subreddit was relatively competent with stocks and had some idea of what they were doing. Until 2015, around the time when Robinhood starts to gain some traction. From there,
Dude, everybody fucking crying about ableism and homophobia. We watch videos where there's like white people saying the N-word with a hard R and shit too. And I've literally never seen a fucking black person in the chat be like, I can't believe this white person said the N-word with a hard R in the video that we're watching. Like, shut the fuck up, okay? Yes, there is ableism all around the world, okay? It's not a good thing. And we try to prevent it in our community. But like, when I'm watching a video and there's like fucking ableism in it, like, what do you want me to do? Turn it off? What are you, fucking crazy?
it's not long before they find Wallstreetbets. The subreddit hits 10,000 members, and the slow influx of Robinhood traders begins. Naturally, the quality of posts on the subreddit take a hit. In late 2016, this influx only accelerates as Wallstreetbets starts to leak onto r/all, growing the sub to around 50k by mid-year. By this point, many of the original members had had enough, and left the subreddit for good. Numerous events unfold over the next few years, with users like Wallstreetbets God appearing, claiming to have made $8 million from 43,000. Someone makes $110,000 completely by accident. Martin Shkreli becomes a mod. But by 2019, the sub had grown to 700,000 members, and the autism was cranked up to 100. It's mid-January 2019, and Reddit user IronieMan decides to stray from the subreddit's proven strategies. He's still trading options.
Okay, but how the fuck did that guy make that money? Like, how did he make $100,000 on accident? Like, how does that work? Trade options? Pressing the right buttons. Wallstreetbets, my subreddit. There's no fucking way that it's actually this dude's subreddit.
But this wasn't your usual options trade. This was a box spread, a highly complicated strategy that involved both buying and selling equal amounts of options at the same expiry and strike price, and profiting by taking advantage of pricing inefficiencies. Box spreads are generally not very profitable, and the commission charges slapped on top of them usually make them not even worth bothering with. But IronieMan was on Robinhood, and Robinhood doesn't have commission charges. Bingo. Time to go in. Now IronieMan only has $5,000 in his account, but by trading these box spreads, he manages to take on around $300,000 worth of margin. That's a leverage of 60 to 1. Now obviously, this should not be possible, but Irony Man's strategy was so autistic that not even Robinhood's risk management knew it could be done. He'd also worked out that the box spreads were completely risk-free, meaning he had no money at risk. If those options remained unexercised, in 2 years, he'd make around $40,000.
How?
He goes on Wallstreetbets and shows everyone the results.
Okay, I didn't understand anything. Like, I just did not understand this at all.
Immediately realizing the inherent risk, people tell him not to go through with it, that there was risk involved, that he was completely retarded. But Irony Man had run the maths. He had no money at risk. It literally could not go tits up. Until people started exercising them. See, Irony Man thought that for every call he sold being exercised, he could exercise a call he purchased, meaning a loss of only $500 per spread. But here's the thing. He sold 500 spreads. On the same day he opened the spreads, buyers began exercising them. So many in fact, that Irony Man had to close 283 spreads in one day. Naturally, his margin called for a shit ton of money he doesn't even have. $60,000 down and minus 2,000% later, Robinhood actually realised what was going on and closed Irony Man's account instantly. Box spreads were removed from the platform in a matter of hours. So overall, not a great week for Irony Man. But it turned out that before things went tits up, Irony Man withdrew $10,000 of the initial profit from his Robinhood account, meaning that while losing Robinhood at least $60,000 and changing a major investment platform's rules forever, Irony Man had actually doubled his money.
Easy clap.
Before we go on, browsing. It's important. Connection.
Okay,
Buying
everyone
right off the grid
tries to
anyway.
do fucking internet historian style NordVPN ads now.
Make that pull-out game weak.
What the fuck is anal
19-year-old
farmer?
student Anal Farmer 2 starts out on Wallstreetbets in 2018.
What the fuck is anal farmer 2? This is so dumb. Hello, I'm Anal Farmer 2, and I have... Yeah, Anal Farmer 1 was taken.
His first post suggests he's new to trading, asking where he should YOLO his 5k, how not to be so retarded, and so on. Fast forward to July 2019, and he's a grizzled veteran. He's now got around $100,000 in his Robinhood account, and he goes all in with it on short-term expiry calls on a company called Align Technologies. It goes well, and a day later, he bags $200,000 profit. 2 days later, and he heads back in. The market had gone up yesterday, so logically, tomorrow it was going to drop. He then YOLOs 170k on 0-day expiry SPY puts. These puts expire the next day, so naturally, they're high risk, high reward. On the same day he buys them, a rogue tweet from Donald Trump announcing a new wave of Chinese tariffs causes the market to nosedive, and he bags another 300k, making his account worth almost $700,000. Confident a market rally was on the cards for the day after, Anal Farmer 2 then put 600k of the profit he'd just made into another round of 0-day expiry options for tomorrow, but this time they were calls. He goes to bed. But when he wakes up, it's a hellscape. A sea of red. The market was down hard again, and his $600,000 was snapped out of existence instantly. He sold the calls on for 100k, leaving around 200k in his account. It was okay. He could make that 500k back with a few careful and strategic. Fast forward a week and it's down to $40,000. An investment of rope was tempting, but Anal Farmer 2 wasn't done just yet. Alright, one final YOLO. Just need to find the right stock. Ah, perfect. He spots an August 14th earnings report for Canopy Growth Corp and decides to put the entirety of his account on calls for it. He goes to bed.
What are they doing? This is not how you... This is literally just gambling, dude. Are these people fucking crazy? I mean, this is literally... There's no difference between this and just going out and fucking dropping a stack on red. It's literally just fucking gambling. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Dude, don't do this, guys. Hey, if you're in the chat, don't fucking do this, okay? This is really dumb and really stupid. And you will get owned. And just like the fucking house always wins, The only people that win in this circumstance are the banks. So dumb.
August 13th, one day before earnings. Anal Farmer 2 is currently up 8k. Things are looking good. He goes to bed again. He wakes up the next day again to a sea of red. Earnings was a complete disaster. However, Anal Farmer 2 is not selling for a loss and plans on sticking with the calls till the end. It's generally assumed that he lost the rest of his account that week. Having made and lost $700,000 in 3 weeks, Anal Farmer 2 decides to take a break from Wallstreetbets and hasn't been back much since.
Like when you have $700,000, you just fucking cash out, dude. What a fucking idiot. What an absolute idiot, dude. You take that and you give it to an actual fucking finance bro. Like an actual money manager, okay?
Oh, you're such a big...
That's what you do. You fucking half it. If you want to keep gambling with it, at least half it and then gamble with only the half. And then the other half you give to someone who knows. The same mindset that makes you win 700,000 is the... Look. Degenerates in the chat. But it could be 1.4 million. That's what I'm saying. Dude, you guys are so dumb. Also, what are you going to do with 1.4 million? Put it in your ass? Huh? Are you trying to build a fucking fat ass like Donald Trump? Is that why you need $1.4 million? What's wrong with you?
This is a deranged...
Money managers are moron gamblers too? Fuck no. Like, no, I'm not talking about some fucking random money manager in a parking lot. Like in one of those like little fucking New Jersey malls, okay? I want to Hermie. I think he could have doubled his money easily now that I have your attention. I just want to say I love your stream. Oh, thank you. Are you a millionaire? No, I'm not a millionaire.
A couple of months later, and a guy called Control the Narrative goes in. Straight off the bat, he borrows money via leverage through Robinhood and loses $30,000 on...
What the fuck? That name is actually... Wait, what do you mean control the narrative? Wait. I feel like I've seen that name in like either LSF. An infamous Wallstreetbets user.
Options for Microsoft's earnings report. He makes a Reddit post declaring the end to his trading career, and that was the end of it. Until he came...
Wait, I have his video open. What do you mean I have his video open? Which one is it? Is this the guy?
Came back 3 days later. This time, he's only got $2,000. But there's a twist. Turns out there's a glitch on Robinhood, and it gives you infinite leverage. Multiple others use this glitch to borrow money in the millions, but Control the Narrative is sensible. He only borrows enough to meet his personal risk tolerance. $50,000. The loophole worked by applying for 2-to-1 leverage via Robinhood Gold, a monthly subscription service which requires a minimum of $2,000 in your account. Check. Because he has 2-to-1 leverage, he now has $4,000 buying power. Control the Narrative then buys 100 shares of AMD stock. He pays $3,200.
Oh my god, it's fucking crazy. They like let you... It's literally gambling. It's worse than gambling. You're gambling with money you don't have. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god, dude. These people are so dumb.
$200 for the shares, with almost half of that being leverage. He then goes to Robinhood's option market and sells AMD calls, turning over his 100 shares and receiving a premium of $3,200.
No, finance bros aren't fucking gamblers in the sense that, like, at the very least, there's a... Dude, come on. There's an entire fucking industry of people dedicated to trying to comprehend, like... I mean, they do valuations, try to figure out what the fucking stock prices are going to look like. There are teams of analysts. Like, you can't just say there's mathematicians working around the clock. to reduce it all at that level to gambling, even though it does work a lot like gambling because there's still external factors that you simply cannot comprehend or calculate. But like this is just pure gambling. Yeah, like doing this without any sort of AI or a fucking team of analysts is just straight up fucking gambling. I borrowed 30K on Jabbermouth McGetty said I borrowed 30K on leverage and lost like 20K during the Chinese tariff and I'm so poor now. Let the finance bros at Wallstreetbets do it for me.
He'd essentially laundered the leverage Robinhood had given him access to into a tangible cash balance in his account. And since he has Robinhood Gold, and his leverage is 2 to 1, he now has access to $8,000. Rinse and repeat until he hits $50,000, his personal risk tolerance. He then bets every single penny of that on Apple puts days before an earnings report, expecting bad news. Earnings
like
day
have
finally
100,000 scientists stare at horses. Okay, calling fucking finance bros or analysts scientists is a stretch, okay? There's loads of that stock guy subs in chat spamming finance bros emotes. Yeah, I know that stock guy does this. Is that what that stock guy does? I know he's a bit of a React Andy as well to like politics, and he's like tried to call me out and say, why do you fucking talk about Postmates and like marketing and like I don't know, increasing value to the consumer when you don't understand econ or something? But what is this? Thank you for giving me moderator. Now please give me your good and ironically good investment advice. Wait, what? Pokimane? She has been removed as a moderator. Unfortunately for her, she picked a bad day to accept the invitation, which was sent weeks ago by another mod. What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck is this? This aged unbelievably well. Just think future generations will replace Shoe Shiner Boy Stock Tip story with this. Yeah, they gave Pokimane mod and she accepted it. Like the day a major shitstorm happened where someone tried to coup the Discord. That's when the markets crashed from Corona. Stock guy on Hasans Economics. I'm not even going to click on that, dude. I don't even give a single shred of a fuck on that. I invested in AMD when it was 10.16 a share, and now my fiance and I have almost 100K Pogo. Good for you, dude. r/Wallstreetbets is insane. Even Donald Trump tweeted about it once, saying that he bet on Amazon stocks because of a Twitch.television streamer told his chat he's gonna hunt ghosts. But he lost that bet hard because he didn't consider the laziness. Good one, Janitory.
/gaming streamer.
That dude was trying to bait drama so hard. Value to the consumer is an important economic concept, but inequality in actual utility is undervalued many in econ. Guys, the stock market obviously works well. Okay? It's obviously both an indication of a robust and healthy economy and also an indication that your company is truly producing value. For example, the fact that Tesla is a more valuable corporation than Volkswagen. This makes a lot of sense. Ultimately, what we are betting on right now is the fact that the battery technology that Tesla would inevitably create will be worth infinitely more and it will make Tesla bigger than just a simple car brand. It's the potential you don't understand. Okay? Buy Le Creuset stock. You can't go wrong, bro. I think it's more than every car maker combined now. Wait, really? What does all in ACB mean? Okay, whatever.
Tim Apple smiles as he uploads Apple's quarterly financials. Christ, they'd smashed it.
Isn't Uber's entire business model dependent on developing driverless AI they will never be able to develop? That, but also Uber's entire business model is literally just taxi, but with no labor protections. Like, and no regulations. Uber was just like, oh, you remember that age-old concept called pirate taxis? I don't know if America ever had this. This is like korsan. This is something that would happen in Turkey, and it was like a big problem. But that's basically what Uber did, which was pirate cabs that are not regulated and not controlled, but also with proprietary technology that steals all your information. Hack cabs? Is that what it's called? It's huge in Turkey. Pirate cab drivers are huge, yeah.
Control the Narrative loses
His
25
name
times
is
his entire
Hasan.
account in an instant,
mean like fake
prompting his soul
taxis?
to leave his body live on camera. It wasn't long before the leverage loophole
What?
expecting bad news.
Wait.
Earnings day
I
finally
love the
arrives
system.
and
I
Tim
can now
Apple
remove
smiles
it
as
in
he
full
uploads
Any
Apple's
chance
quarterly
we can get your
financials.
thoughts on this video?
Christ,
Enjoy your
they'd
stream,
smashed
stay
it.
funny and entertaining.
Control the Narrative
Keep up
loses
the good work.
25 times his entire account in an instant, prompting his soul to leave his body live on camera. It wasn't long before the leverage loophole was fixed. Robinhood would then go on to Wallstreetbets to clarify their policies on margin and state that anyone found abusing systems on Robinhood would have their account closed. They were banned from the subreddit instantly. But while Wallstreetbets was busy spreading the ashes of Control the Narrative, a few bears had spotted something brewing on the horizon. February 2020. The Dow Jones Index is riding at an all-time high, and Wallstreetbets now has almost 900,000.
Damn, none of y'all told me to fucking run an ad. What is that? None of y'all told me to run an ad. It's already 8:24. 6-second ad break while I fucking yell at a gray name in the chat. Long Tesla options. Tell
name
Elon that
is
your stock sucks in
Hasan.
the hopes that his ego makes him tweet otherwise. 3, you're a millionaire. I was unlocked. Well, it was whatever. I'm running it right now. I'm talking about Prop 22. Don't believe
This is a
fucking
deranged-
Uber and Lyft and other companies whenever they say they're gonna have a consumer boycott, or not a consumer boycott, but they're gonna stop working because they now have to
This is a
magically
deranged
offer
pervert.
It's
more
time for
benefits to their
like this chat
employees.
info kiss.
Members.
back.
At the same time, things were happening in China. They weren't good. A new coronavirus was springing up all over Wuhan, and it was spreading fast. China locked down the city and told everyone that everything was just fine. Turns out, it wasn't. Fast forward a few months, and almost the entire world has it,
This is a deranged
and it's still spreading.
pervert.
After infections start springing up in Europe and America, governments cave in one by one. Alright boys, time to close shop. Bears on Wallstreetbets had struck it big, and while infections continued to spread, bears were rubbing their hands together. These puts were going to print nicely. And they did. In March, the US market fell by almost 30%, but the lockdown was expected to cripple the economy for years. Bears were certain the worst was yet to come, so the mission was simple: load back up on puts and head straight back in. COVID was getting worse, rent wasn't being paid, and unemployment numbers were skyrocketing. Once again, it literally could not go tits up. They hadn't taken into account one thing, however. A booming market was Trump's golden ticket to a re-election in 2020, and he wasn't just going to let it slip into the gutter. And so began the pump. The head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, is tasked with keeping the stock market afloat, a feat that seemed almost impossible under the current circumstances. But then something incredible happened. By pressing a simple button, Jerome Powell discovered something fascinating. A real-life infinite money glitch, one that was yet to be patched. Turned out that the Fed has a money printer, and it printed money. The recession was cancelled instantly. In late February, the US government had pledged $2.5 billion to fight the coronavirus, but by mid-April, they'd burnt through more than $6 trillion. The Fed pledged a $2 trillion stimulus package, as well as announcing unlimited purchasing of government bonds. Emergency tendy packages of $1,200 were also deployed. The results were incredible. 40 million unemployed, the market's up. 100,000 dead worldwide, priced in.
This seems like the perfect system, I think.
Almost $1 trillion added to the national deficit in 1 month. SPY 300. By simply taping the print button down, J. Powell had ended the crash instantly, and the world's financial system was back to normal for good. And thank God for us, excessively printing money to counterbalance economic issues has never had unintended consequences. Bears were absolutely brutalised. Tens of thousands of puts, reduced to ash instantly. People on the subreddit would continue to remain bearish for a couple of months, but as things worsened, and the market kept rising, one by one, they fell. By late May, it was over. Even with 40 million Americans unemployed, the Nasdaq had surpassed even the pre-crash peaks of late 2019. The Dow Jones index wasn't far behind. The bears had lost. It had been a rocky few months for the world in general, but things were finally improving. The economy had made a full recovery, the virus had completely gone, and the world was back to normal.
True. You know. And now we're in the, yeah, good. That's the good ending, dude. I can't wait for everything to fucking fall apart.